positively innocent. I have no doubt in my mind.
I knew he had nothing to do with it.
He was not involved.
No, this is not what he did, and you have proof of it is not what he did.
Sleep was not there, period.
Everyone in the neighborhood knows he wasn't even there.
Why can't you just accept that y'all need to fix this? Why can't you just let him out?
Ed and Miro Robles and friends, I think there was like 2 or 3 other guys in the car. They were looking for some weed, and Westfield Acres, that's a section in Camden, 312 Beetleman. They go there to buy some weed. A gentleman invites them in, another guy stays outside, and Louise and who we know is the killer walk up the stairs, gunshot rings out, and then he ends up dead.
So we heard a pop. I don't know, like I told you, I don't know if that was the door slamming or it was a shot. Then you heard another pop. I said, that's a gunshot. That was louder.
And Robles effectively describes somebody that isn't Stephon Downer. And says that it's probably him. Okay. That is not an identification. And then we have a sketch that excludes Stephon Downer that Robles gives. They showed a single photo to Robles, right? They said, this is a bad guy. It doesn't matter if he did this or not. Leave him there.
I said, sleep? I said, sleep wasn't there with y'all? He said, I know, but they don't sleep.
When they first even accused him, the first thing out of his mouth was, tell my mom I didn't do it. That was the first thing. And one thing Stephon never did, he ain't lied to his mother.
I witnessed show with 2 guys for 2 days, and in 2 days, made up everything they wanted to make up just to get out of jail.
They peg Steph as a criminal, but yet he confesses to 2 white men that he doesn't know in intake. It's not happening.
The information they had was straight out of the Courier Post. One guy didn't even know where it happened. He couldn't even remember. Like, oh, I don't know where he said it was. They didn't know anything. No, they knew what the newspaper said, and that's all they could recite.
What would happen was, again, the end justifies the mean. Cut to the chase. Let's close this out as quickly as possible and move on to the next case. A lot of times, because Camden was drug infested, you would see officers lying on affidavits, falsifying police reports. But oftentimes we see police make up informants. They're non-existent. You know, there's no way to track it.
You get 2 guys that are willing to tell you whatever you want to hear. Making of a convicted murderer.
So this was definitely a boxed investigation where they used jailhouse informants. They used a detective who's also in the news for being a corrupt detective.
Exonerated in 2017, Sean is one of 4 exonerees in Philly who share a common thread. All had now retired police detective Martin Devlin accuse them of murder. Devlin has been named in several lawsuits accusing him of police misconduct and coercing false confessions.
So what came across about Martin Devlin when I started looking into him was his massive amounts of arrogance. I mean, that just came across in everything that he did. I mean, from his nickname, Detective Perfect, he called himself also the Golden Marty, and he bragged about having a 95% clearance rate. I mean, again, these are just things that no one has a 95% clearance rate if they're doing everything straight, right? Like homicides get assigned randomly. So you're going to have 1 or 2 that you can't solve. Like that's just the nature of the beast.
It had to be his way, had to be his story, had to be, you got to go this way. He said, what if it was wrong, you know?
Everything I got is leading up to sleep. He said, trust me, with you or without you, we're going to get him off the streets. And I said, man, somebody gave you some bad information. I said, sleep wasn't there. He wasn't a part of it. He said, well, your pieces of the puzzle don't fit my puzzle.
How's that a fair trial for Stephon Downer? You know, to have a bad identification in, to have 2 jailhouse informants who are completely unreliable in there. It's not a fair trial.
Do you remember when he lost trial?
Yeah. I couldn't believe that. It just broke my heart. Because not my little brother, the baby.
He would disappear sometimes in the stores. He disappeared one day, and one of the cashiers said, "I found a little boy." He was behind the candy counter, mouth full of candy, saliva running down his face because his cheek was full. And she opened up a bag. She said, "Here, put it in the bag." And she gave it to him.
He wasn't really into the cartoons like most kids. He was more into, adventure and doing things in the wild and always hunting for something, always hunting for a snake or a bee or praying mantis. He was always hunting for something. Always. And I had to be there to take it.
And just when Stephon to get out and go visit his daughter, because he has a daughter also who served 7 years in the Army, and she's out now. But I just want her and her dad, because when he went in, she was 3 months old. So she's been waiting her whole life for her dad to be free. And I don't wish this on anybody else.
A person is not there. How can no level in the justice system see that? So that's what I don't understand. Like, that's what hurts me. Like, the abuse, that we take. Like, you can go through every single level and be denied and not have even been there.
And they put you somewhere out of thin air and manufacture facts. It's not real. It's not real. Prison itself tears a family apart. The time tears a family apart. The distance tears a family apart. And so many things that play a role into breaking down your survival. Once you make a conscious decision, like, I'm gonna live, then it's like, okay, I'm gonna fight.